was spent preparing himself for the real world through his service in the Navy. Then, as a civilian, he was now prepared to take on the publishing world single-handedly. He was a cocky young man of 25. America had ended active warfare, and Brayton was telling the entire world, "Come on, try and stop me." During the next 3 years as a civilian, he succeeded in being a writer, a publisher, an editor, a director of a number of projects, partner in an advertising firm, etc., etc., etc. But life was missing something. No, not sea life, but Navy duty stations where his genius was recognized. Anyway, he re-enlisted in 1960 and swabbed the decks of the Pentagon and other high offices for 18 years until he finally retired with the rank of captain in the U.S. Navy. Our next section, Kathy's story. The saying, "Hell has no fury like a woman's scorn." Lucky for Brayton, Kathy has no such emotion. And she is destined to be stationed in heaven after surviving life with Brayton. Our next song is "In the Navy with the Village People." We'll be starting with the verse, and then we will join in the chorus. See the 7 seas in the Navy. Yes, you can put your mind at ease in the Navy. Come on, people, make a stand in the Navy. Can't you see we need a hand in the Navy? Come on, protect the motherland in the Navy. Come on, join the fellow man in the Navy. Come on, people, make a stand in the Navy. In the Navy. Kathy, would you like to say a few words about Brayton?
I have just a few words about some idiosyncrasies. Okay. You have come to honor Brayton, and we appreciate that, but there are some things you should know before you honor Brayton tonight. I married a very terrific, smart, creatively clever, generous, and loving man. His name is Brayton, and even that is unique. My mom calls him Frank, and I said, no. Brayton would say to me, why didn't you say I was brilliant? I said you're smart. He said, no, I'm brilliant. Smart doesn't cut it. Anyway, Brayton is a man of organized, complete disorganized way of living. Every nook and cranny in his office is filled with, you name it, whatever it is. If I wanted to send him off to a complete heart attack situation, all I have to say is, Brayton, I politely and respectfully have cleaned and reorganized. That would do it. I would have to call 911. Another important fact about Brayton. Brayton has knowledge. Knowledge backing knowledge backing knowledge. Jenny appreciates this. Be aware if you ask the question, Brayton, where did this product come from and how does this work? You are in for the entire history of the product, of the company, of the CEO, of the manager, CEO. You grab a chair and prepare for a long lesson. It will be a long lesson. Thank you, Brayton. We learned a lot about things. Brayton is not a vain man at all. He's a proud man, but he's not vain. Clothes don't matter, haircuts don't matter. Not much matters. I bring him shirts, set to shirts, and he says, I have enough shirts. Bringing me shirts. We are opposites in that respect, and we have decided not to file for divorce. Brayton has embraced my love of dogs and animals and cats. He has put himself at great risk on occasion. When we lived in Akron, Ohio, we had a very neurotic dog named Bo. Bo loved to bolt out of the front door when he desired so. Brayton was so good about going after Bo. And on this particular day, Bo decided it's time for me to bolt. And Brayton, unfortunately, had no shoes and just was in little white skivvies. And Brayton leapt out of the front door after Bo. Bo was down the street, Brayton only in skivvies. And pretty soon you could hear sirens. I thought, oh my God, my husband is in jail because of Bo. But that's how good Brayton is. He'll go after any dog. He was yelling, Bo, Bo, Bo. And the police were after Brayton.
We're in decent exposure, right?
Streaking down the street.
All I have to do to get Brayton motivated is say he's motivated with his books. But beyond that, I have to say, Brayton, the door is breaking down, the windows are cracked, snow's coming in. Please help. Nothing happens. But when I say, Brayton, I'm going to hire help. Then he will say, it's done. I'm going to do it. It's done. Brayton is a fix-it guy, and it gets fixed. Brayton, I'm happy to say, is a wonderful husband, dad, animal lover, and when he made the journey, it's been over 25 years, and it's been good.
Well, we're on our last section. You've been a great participant group. The last section is retirement. The saying is, life begins with a Navy pension and no bosses, except Kathy and the babies, AKA 5 dogs and 1 cat. The song that we're going to, our last song is Whistle While You Work. And we ask you to listen to the first go around. Ready? Just whistle while you work, and cheerfully together we can tidy up the place. So hum a merry tune. It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace. And as you sweep the room, imagine that the broom is someone that you love, and soon you'll find you're dancing to the tune. When hearts are high, the time will fly, so whistle while you work. Kathy might have thought that retirement with Brayton meant traveling and cruises, but with Brayton, it means something different. Ceaseless work on his many projects. Brayton, we truly admire what you have done before retirement and after retirement. As a token of our esteem, we would like to present you with this shadow box, which reflects some of the events that we have just shown in our sketch.
Have you seen this?
No. Pass around. Pass it around.
Oh, how wonderful.
Terrific.
Cool.
That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
And now, Brayton, we invite you to speak. No tape, nothing.
But you said I couldn't because I would.
Now,
I can
we
be
are
it now.
inviting you now.
You got pens.
Oh, so shall I tell you how Milton Berle introduced me to Frank Sinatra at the 21 Club? No, you don't. That's right.
No, we've heard that one, Brayton.
No. Shall I tell you about how my daughter didn't know what Phi Beta Kappa was? And she called me one day from school. She said, "Dad, I've been invited to join a fraternity." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "I got this letter that said I'm supposed to join this fraternity." I said, "What's it called?" She said, "Phi Beta Kappa." I said, "You join, I'll pay for it." She never heard of it. Okay. My son is currently preparing to ride a motorcycle in the Rolling Thunder event in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, honoring veterans. He's an executive with something called Concerned Veterans for America, which is a brand new lobbying group for veterans. I said, "Well, I hope at least you're going to wear a T-shirt that says Concerned Veterans." He said, "Oh yeah, I got a T-shirt." I said, what you really ought to do is get a good-looking blonde, a veteran, to wear the T-shirt, and then you'll attract the cameras. He says, "Dad, we already have our own camera crew covering it." So, he's a Harris-trained kid. Anyway, I'm sort of speechless.
No.
This is really...
Never.
This is really...
You'll notice a book is in the center of your display there.
Yeah.
It's a book by Sophocles, and we understood you consulted on that.
Close personal friend of mine. Classmate. Yeah. Well, but we had some conflicts with a couple of other guys. Aristophanes, because he was writing plays, and Sophocles was pretending to be a philosopher, and I was kind of the guy in the middle, and well, you understand.
Right, sure.
That's really nice.
Oh, nice.
So, Rod, you had a toast?
Yeah, I wanted to give just a very brief toast, and this is kind of a more serious thing, I guess, but Brayton, you are truly a man for all seasons, and if you notice on the cake it says that. You're one of the most fascinating people I've ever met. And you're young at heart, which is really an inspiration to those of us who are much, much younger. But anyway, my wish for you is for a continued long life, and as they say in the Navy, fair winds and following seas. So, toast to Brayton.
Here, here.
Cheers.
And let me give a toast to my bride over here, who I don't want to ignore, because she won't let me forget it if I do. We've been married 25 and a half years, and we were living in Akron, Ohio, in Florida, Boca Raton, Florida. And we've been married, I don't know, less than a year. And I had a job offer that was better than my boss's job. And I was 56 years old, and no one is offering really good executive level jobs to 56-year-olds. I've been in the Navy, I retired, and I was just sort of doing aerospace PR thing. And this job was really terrific. So I went home and I said, Kathy, you've got this great job offer. And I explained, I said, guess where we're moving? Akron, Ohio. She said, guess where you're moving, Bus? I'm staying right here in Boca Raton, a mile from the beach and so on. I said, come on, I've got to take this job. I have to be there at least 5 years for vesting, for retirement. But after that, all bets are off. Anywhere in the world you want to live, it's your choice, and we will move there. Now, I kept taking her to San Diego, San Francisco, all the garden spots of the world, but guess where we have ended up, folks?
We're glad you did.
Kansas City. Yeah.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. I'm lucky, more than you know.